Welcome to the Leadership Podcast. My name is Julia, and I am a student here at UWC ISAK Japan. Today, I am interviewing Ms. Kyoko Otoke, who is the Deputy Head of Operations and Manager of Academic Affairs, to find out more about them and what motivates them to help our community. Kyoko-san, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, first of all, I want to ask, how are you doing? I mean, with 2021 and the COVID situation, things surely must be very hectic.
It's, as much as the students are having, I'm sure, a lot of worries, but it's definitely giving me a lot of energy, knowing that everybody's really trying their best to make it at a safe place. And the faculty and staff are also working hard to make sure that we are in a community that eventually that we will be in a safe and back to normal school life as soon as possible. That is what we're working for.
Yes, I think it's very admirable how everyone just despite this very hard times, everyone just tries to keep and motivate everyone to say, hey, we can get through this. And I think
Mm,
that's something very special here at Isaac is that we are such a family. It's not
mm,
just a school, it's a family.
mm.
Yeah, and so I've been doing a bit of reading and research about you, and I found out that you really love to travel and like to see art museums and concerts. So I was wondering, what's your favorite memory?
Okay. Thank you for your question. So when you asked me that question, I had to kind of set my mind back again, and the most biggest memory I have in terms of visiting art museum, how it started, is when I was studying in the UK when I was doing my degree, and the first time I went to London and went to the National Gallery there and also Tate Museum. Um, it was just fascinating to see the real artwork just in front of me, the big arts, and also especially not just seeing in Japan but being away from home. It was a very fresh thing, and in the UK at that time it was free of charge to go to the museums, which was like one amazing thing. I thought, oh, how the Europe, or at that time the UK, was putting art in the very high priority, allowing people to come and see and appreciate the work of art. For anybody who wants to, me being a student at that time, it was very, very nice. So it all started with a combination of the traveling, my experience being abroad, and being able to be at an art museum in London at that time was what was my biggest memory, and how I started to enjoy the art.
Wow, that sounds absolutely amazing. I wish I could do that someday. Like just go and just see a lots of these beautiful artworks and all of these things. So I was wondering, how long have you stayed here in Isaac, and what does your job really entail? Because I'm not
Okay.
sure that everyone's really,
Mm.
knows who that is. Want to see if you could shed some light on that.
Okay. So I've joined Isaac when the school started. So that was 7 years ago. So I was in the member of the preparation of getting the school started, and that was 7 years ago. So it's a it was an exciting moment of knowing that a new school with this very wonderful concept of bringing students from all around the world, starting here in Karuizawa, was an exciting experience to start off with. And my main task here at Isaac is to this is the academic affairs and school governance related. Majority of my work is there, and so to make it easier to understand what kind of task I'm doing, will be specifically will be like, Isaac is a Japanese certified school. We have to have all our teachers to be certified as a Japanese teachers too. So we are we are doing screening when the teachers are applying for the school here at Isaac, and making sure that the requirements, their qualification meets the requirement of the mixed requirements. But it's mainly to do with the requirements that the mixed and Japanese government on the private law issues, that we're
Mm-hmm.
complying with all the requirements that we have. So we will have also a lot of inspection from the government.
Mhm.
So I will prepare all the preparation of the checkpoints of that the government is giving us and making sure that we're complying. And if there's anything that we should be improvement, we make suggestions on improvements. And yes, so I don't know if that give you a little bit of an idea. So I'm like on the back side of the school, not in the front side, but yes, those are the kind of work I do.
That sounds very interesting. So you must be very busy all the time. No, really, I really find that really interesting. So you've been part of our community for 7 years since the very beginning. And so I want to talk to you a little bit more about Isaac's mission. So
Mm.
in the Isaac's mission statement, we are encouraged to explore new frontiers. And so I want to know what thinking outside the box, exploring new frontiers means to you, and how does this apply to your daily life?
Mm. Thank you. So in words, I guess it is about, as you're all learning now, to learn about yourself and to learn about the others and to find out what it is that is important to us. And from there, you make an action to make sure that there is things that you do take an action. And so exploring means trying those different options that you come up with ideas to make things to make it better. And so maybe that's not really the outside of the box that maybe you're asking for. But fundamentally, I think it is important that there is a will within themselves to make sure that things do happen, and just don't hold back, but give it a try, even if it doesn't work. So exploring means to make that plan and take that action, and to even almost risk, not exactly risk, but to give it a try.
That is a wonderful and very wholesome answer. Thank you so much. So, in terms of going back to your work, there is so much aspects about it, and I was wondering, like, what are the values that are important to you in your work? Like, how do you like? What are the driving values that you really feel that are really important to you?
Yes, I think first of all, I think when you're working with different people. In my case, outside the government, local government, or the next people, and my driving force will be mainly to trust that person and to make sure that I'm being trusted. So in a way, honesty also is very important to me. And so the key word for me would be trust, based on that. And from there comes, how do I get the trust? How do I trust people? So yes, I guess trust.
Yeah, trust. That is very important thing when it comes to working with people, and especially I imagine you work with so many different people every day, and it must be very hard to manage. So now that you've like stayed here for almost 7 years, for 7 years here in Isaac, and hopefully even more, yes, cross your fingers. What needs have you identified in Isaac that you think are not being fulfilled?
Okay. When I read this question this morning, this was the most difficult question because
Hmm.
being in a newly established school, not new that much now, but when I started, there was of course a lot of things that comes up that needs to be looked after, and to find ways to cover, not cover, to deal with those issues. And so the we have had quite a lot of things that came up that we tried to manage to find solutions. So at the moment, when you ask me what it is that I identified as not fulfilled, um, maybe we have heard voices from students, also about the transparency, about the school's directions or decision making, all the things. So we were trying, from our operational side of it, we were trying to be as transparent as possible. But if there's still constantly voices coming up about this, I think this is in an area that we should try to structure ourselves to make sure that these voices we will again going back to be trusted, so that
Mm,
we could have both sides of trust. And then, as being a school that is not like a conventional school, like saying this is it, this is all, no discussion whatsoever, but this school has been really amazing about trying to pick up voices from all aspects of the school. So I think even more to go a stage higher than that, to make that a school that is keeping continue to be not a conventional school. We're always making changes to make it better. So I'm not sure if I'm answering the question, but um, anyway, what I would like to say is that we still have space or not. I wouldn't say space. There's more areas that we should improve ourselves,
mhm.
and from there we should have more places where we could exchange thoughts, and also again to gain the trust from
Yeah,
all areas. I think is the
yeah,
area we should try to work on.
yeah. I mean, like, given what's happening the last couple of months and COVID, I think that the school is really constantly being challenged. But, faculty, staff, students, every day is just being here in this community is an absolute wondrous amazement. That, it's a constant growth for each and every one of us. And as you said, the element of trust, I think it's a very wonderful and amazing thing because here in Isaac, we trust each other like family. It's not, it's a mere community that's a family, and that's solid and that's amazing. So, given your numerous experiences in life, I wanted to ask for our last question, what
Mhm.
advice can you give the students here at Isaac?
Okay. Um, the students here are really amazing. I think it's they challenge things, and they are always trying to make things better. And so I think that, I don't know if it's me to give an advice, but
Mhm,
keep on doing that. Keep on with that spirit of taking action and learning from experience. I think Isaac is giving the environment we are in, and the common belief that we have is that you keep on trying.
mhm,
Experience is definitely the best learning I think method. Not just reading and writing, but
mhm.
doing things
Yeah,
is actually um, you one of the good big step to grow yourself.
yeah,
So take that action that you've been taking and learn from experience, uh, and maybe never take things for granted. Maybe
mhm,
questioning is always good to have,
mhm.
and so take action.
Yes, we should take action. I think that's the wonderful thing about this school is we always try to encourage other people just, just go for it. If you fail, it's fine. You just can just learn from it. And I think it's something that this world really needs. Just why just go for it and don't be afraid, right? So really, I feel like those words are very inspirational, and I hope that the listeners of this podcast would hopefully be inspired by your words and experience as well. So I want to thank you so much for being on our podcast and to our audience for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. See you next time. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Julia.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.